Mr. Mopar back again with another how-to. Today I'm going to show you how to change the exterior door handle in a 2002 Toyota Tacoma. Should be the same for 95 through 04. If, like myself, you live where it's cold in the winter, modern day everything's plastic, and my door handle decided to break. So the biggest thing, the most difficult thing with mine, where it's got manual crank windows, is going to be getting the crank for the window off. There's a little clip on the inside that just kind of snaps in there and holds it. They do make a special tool for that. I don't have one, so what I generally try to use is a little pry bar, something with an angle on it to get in behind there and push it off. I do know you've got the Phillips screw here, and then there's two more behind these caps, so I'm going to get those off and then we'll take it up from there. Figure I may as well point out those little caps that hide the screws in there. There's just little tabs that hold them in. What I use to get them out is just a little small pick to get in beside them and pop them out of there. And then, I guess you can't really see because it's deep inside there, but there's a couple Phillips in there. So I'm going to go and get those 3 Phillips off, the 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll focus on my door window crank. So this is the little clip that holds the window crank on. What I ended up doing was kind of prying on the window crank with my little pry bar here, and then I was able to get my pick in behind and push the clip out. And oh, look at that. Window crank's broke. Awesome. I don't even know how that was being held on there, to be honest with you, so I'm gonna have to get a new one of those. So now that those are off, I'm going to use my door panel pliers. That's what I call them. I'm not really sure what they're called. Had to pause it and find them. I call them door panel pliers. I'm sure they have a special name, but they're just a set of forks, and you can get in behind the door panel and pop them out. Generally, if you're careful, you can usually do it without breaking the pins. So I'm gonna hope for the best because it's pretty cold today, so we'll see what happens. So I was able to pop it off and save the pins. I'm not gonna unhook the speaker to show you all of them, like I guess the easiest way, but on the inside of the door panel, which would be closest to the truck here, you've got 2 pins at the top, and then you've got, looks like 3, 4 across the bottom, which a couple of mine are already missing, and a couple broke down there, but there's still enough to get it back on. Once I had the pins loose, it was still being held by the interior door handle, and I had to get my little pry bar on that and push it forward, and then I was able to get the door panel off and then work this out, because like everything else, that little nub on the inside of it's plastic and I don't want to break it. So you can see the tabs on this, those are going to go in and lock in place like that. Like I said, I had to push it forward, and then I was able to work the door panel off. As far as the exterior door handle, you'll see on the inside there, there's a 10mm on both sides of it, which you can tell by looking at your new one here. Just the 2 10mm that hold it on, and then the little plastic nub there that your rod will go into that actually opens and closes the door. So I'm going to get the old one off, hope for the best, and see if I can get the new one put on. Also going to add, because I wasn't paying very good attention, I had my ratchet inside trying to get to that other 10mm that's on the back. Just a little plug right here, pop that off, easy access, saves you a lot of headache. So another thing, bear with me because I'm learning as I go. You do have to take the lock out, so be careful with this here, because again, it's plastic. When it's cold out, that snaps real easy. It hooks to this rod in there, it goes through the hole, and then that slides down over to lock it in place. While I have that out, I'm going to spray it with some WD. It likes to freeze when it's cold. So when you're putting the door lock onto your new handle, there's a little metal tab. You're just going to put it on there and turn it counterclockwise to line that hole up with the bolt. That will kind of help that holds it in there basically when you install it. So now I've got that done. I'm going to put it back into the hole. You got to work it in there and then hook up this metal rod when it's in, which is kind of a pain in the nuts, but that's how it's got to be done, unfortunately. And then hook your lock rod back up, put your 2 bolts back in, the 1 and the 2, put it back together, and hopefully your door handle works. Okay, so again, learning as I go. I was able to hook the one rod up with a door handle outside, and now you just got to kind of angle it and work it in there. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but you can do it. So finally got everything back in there. Got the lock rod hooked up and the handle rod hooked up, both latches on. My bolts back in, put your plug back in, plastic dust shield there, throw it back together. Good to go. Hopefully this helps somebody. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm learning as I go with this. I could do with a lot of my things, but all you should need is a Phillips screwdriver, a 10mm, a little pry bar, and a pick, unless you've got the tool that they make specifically for the manual window crank clips, and you can do it. Thanks for watching.